Hi, everybody. Welcome back to YouTube. I am Danielle, better known as Danielle, the happy medium in the industry. And if you're coming across this video for the first time, then why not come on over to my channel? I do all things mediumship development, spiritual, and anything that relates in the evidential world of mediumship. For those who are return subscribers, or for those who turn up week in, week out, thank you. I'm so very grateful. It's a pleasure to have you here again with me. Today, we're going to look a little bit at what we looked at last week, which was the active mind or the busy mind. And then Friday, because we do uploads on a Friday now instead of a Thursday, we're going to look at another aspect. Many of yous do like the sitting in the power techniques that I do here on the channel, but a lot of yous had said that the music and things can be a little distracting. So today we are going to talk about the active mind sitting in the power, including in this is a active mind sitting in the power technique that I use for my students. So what will happen, just to give you a little bit of a sort of debrief, I'm going to chat for a little bit, which is what you're probably seeing now. Then the screen is going to go blank. There's going to be no music. There's going to be nothing. Now, if you want to add music into this, you're more than welcome to. But for those who are struggling with the music in, this one's going to be with none. So the screen's going to go off while actual sitting in the power technique, and I'm going to guide you through that and walk you through that. And then I'm going to come back. I want to give you some little bits and pieces more, and then obviously you can then do this at home as often as you like in order to help you with that busy mind. Now, we talked a little bit within the video on last Tuesday, I think, about the busy mind. And the busy mind is basically us who is got a lot going on. And for those who have trouble sitting while it's quiet, and that means that we have quite a busy mind, and our mind needs something to do while we're sitting in the power. And that's what this technique today is all about, giving your mind something to do with the spirit world, not the conscious mind, so not the imagination. So we're not working in the psychic parameter here or the imagination. We're going to be working with the spirit world. You may be increasingly amazed by the inspiration that comes from the spirit world. This is very much guided by them. We are going to be working with them. So even if you don't have guides or anything in place, this one will still work. Because we always have people working with us, we may just not know them at the moment. So this one's very, very helpful for those who are the active mind or the busy mind. Another thing we can talk about here, what will this do? This will help build relationships with the spirit world. It'll help us to hold our connection with the spirit world so that when we're doing communications, we're not bouncing about with the busy mind. It's also going to help you to have more discipline with your work. It's also going to help you to understand more about what is actual spirit and what's you. It's got lots and lots of benefits to it, I've got to be honest. So if you're ready, and if you are in a comfortable position, we can get cracking. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes just to get settled. You're still going to see me. Then the camera's going to go off and we're going to go into that sort of sitting in the power technique. So what I would recommend now is to get yourself sorted, get yourselves into a position, and we'll take it from there. So I'm just going to knock my camera off. There we go. You'll still see my face. So welcome to the sit in the power. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds there just to get a comfortable position. I will do my very best to blur out as much of the background noise as possible. I have got movement in my property today, so while I'm editing the video, I'll try and move away as much of the background noise as possible so it's as crystal clear and quiet for you. What I'd like you to do is get yourself comfortable. If you're comfortable and in a good position, then and obviously a place where you're not going to be disturbed. That's really important. We're going to be here for about 15 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, give or take, but we certainly want to be somewhere where we're not going to be disturbed. What I will say is you can do this with your eyes open or your eyes closed. It's exactly the same technique, just obviously you can keep your eyes open or you can keep your eyes closed. It's entirely up to you how you want to do this. If you want to do it both ways and see which one works better for you, more than welcome to. So what I'd like is to do, depending on where your eyes are, what I want us to do is just check in with us first. So what I want you to do is take our mind to the breath. Now, I've talked about this a lot. So either to the tip of your nose or to the rise and fall of your chest, whichever one works for you. And the reason I want you to do this 4 is so that we find the natural rhythm. And one thing with sitting in the power, whether with your eyes open or eyes closed, we don't want to be forcing the mind to be going anywhere or doing anything. We want it to be natural as possible. So I want you to find that rhythm. And by finding this rhythm, what we're doing is we're syncing the mind, the body and the soul all into one, so that everything's working in harmony rather than the pieces of it being disjointed, or it's certainly sort of working against each other. And this is also very helpful if you're quite fearful. So if you struggle with sitting in power, or your mind, your active mind, or your imagination, or your psychic awareness can sort of get itself out of control, one of the techniques you can do is find the rhythm of your breath. When we find the rhythm of the breath is throughout the whole of this sitting in the power, what that helps to do is to calm the mind, reset the nervous system, and allow for a much more easier flow than us trying to force something to happen. So I want you for a few moments just to find that rhythm of the breath. At times you're going to, yeah, it's going to go quiet. That's because obviously I'm giving you just a couple of minutes to catch up there. And what I want you to do is I just want you to now relax. And what's going to happen is you find that natural rhythm of the breath. The body's naturally going to relax. It's naturally going to find its natural rhythm. Now, you may here want to close your eyes, even though you've got your eyes open and you want to keep them open for the duration of the sitting in the power. Because you're naturally relaxing the body, then the body will naturally want to shut the eyes. If that is the case, go with the flow, go with what the body wants to do, because you're going to have a better experience. But if that's not happening and keep your eyes open, that's okay too. So as we're just naturally finding your breath, and as we're naturally starting to relax, we're naturally going to become just aware of our energy. We haven't done anything or gone anywhere yet. We're just aware of us. And we don't really want to check in there today. We really want to put some intention. So the intention today is to work with the spirit world and the spirit team in order to improve our connection. And that's your intention. So we are going to work with the spirit world. We're going to work with the team that's working with you, and we're going to improve our connection. We're going to improve our discipline with the spirit world. That intention is now in, so we don't need to repeat it. And what we're going to do is with your eyes open or with your eyes closed, you're gently going to move your eyes inside your mind. So don't move your natural eyes. You're going to move your eyes inside as if you're moving them slightly to the right, slightly to the left, slightly back to the right. And I want you to keep doing that until you feel the stick. Now, the stick is where we are sticking on one side. Now, we want the stick to be to the left. If it's to the right, what I would recommend is that you come out, you have a word with the right hand side, and ask for that to be cleared away. And then when you're ready, come back and repeat the process. For those who are still working with us, your eyes should be inside of your mind, gently moving backwards and forwards until they stick. Keep with the breath and just let it naturally happen. You don't want to be pushing them. You just gently want to be moving them. And once you've got that stick to the left, what we want to do is just take a couple of moments here. We don't want to start rushing. So we're going to take a couple of moments, just stay with the breath, keep the eyes to the left. Now what we're going to do is, now that our minds and our eyes are on the left, we are now within the spiritual world. Your intention is in. And what we're going to do with the spirit world today is ask the spirit world to bring forward a table of their choice, not what you want, a table of your choice. Now, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to look to the back left using inside your mind. Look to the back left and see if you can see the table. Then I'd like you to move your awareness or your eyes to your left ear and look through there. I'd then like you to look to the front of your mind and see if you can see the table there. Wherever you see the table is wherever your connection to the spirit world is. So I'd like you just to take a few moments just to keep with the breath. Spirit will place the table of their choosing, and your job is to pick it up. So moving from the back left with your eyes to the left ear, to the left front. I want you to become aware of where that table is. I'll give you a few moments to work with that. Once you have the table, what I'd like you to do is then ask the spirit world to place the chairs. I do not want you to place them. I want spirit. I want you to watch. What we've got to learn to do is watch what the spirit world's doing, not so much interfering. So just watch. All your job at the moment is to hold where the table is. That's holding the connection to spirit and keeping with the breath. And just watch the spirit world. Now, you might see a guide here. You might see anything that the spirit world wants to give you. It will be entirely up to them. You may see nothing at all. If you see nothing at all, you need to keep moving to one of the three sections until you become aware of the table. Some will get this quicker than others. It all depends. Once the chairs are being placed, continuing to hold the breath, I would like you to ask the spirit world if it's okay for you to sit on the chair by the table. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to wait to be invited to the table. One of the things we have to remember when we're working for spirit is we have to be invited to do them things. It's no job just to take a seat. It's our job to wait to be invited to take a seat at the table. What I'd like you to do is, if you have the invitation, I'd like you to take a seat. And then what I'd like you to do is I would like you to ask the spirit world what they would like to show you at the table. And this is for you to wait for spirit to give you what they want to give you. Now, again, you may have somebody join you at the table. You may have objects placed upon the table. Your job here is to be able to pick the objects up or the person up in multifaceted ways. So what I mean by this is to be able to pick them up through vision, through hearing, through smell, taste, through empathy, through feeling, through knowing. In order to be multifaceted and to be able to pick up multiple communicators, we have to be able to get the spirit world on at least 5 of the 7 clairs. So I'd like you to work a few moments there. And then when you're comfortable and happy, I'd like you to ask the spirit world if you can leave the table. And then what you would do is come back to your connection, wherever it may be, at the front, the side, or the back. And then when you're ready, you can come back to the room. So welcome back, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed this particular active or busy mind sitting in the power technique in the quiet. What I would like to say to you is you can change the intention. Now, lots and lots of people ask me how I developed in the spirit world. This is it. I would go in with set intentions of different intentions, and I would sit at tables and I would learn multifaceted different ways that I could pick up information, which is evidence to me and you. I did this for years and still do this to this day. If I feel like I'm lacking in some sort of exercise, then this is the one. What you will have noticed within this technique is we don't do nothing without the spirit world. In order to be trained by the spirit world, we have to learn to work with spirit. We are not to put what table we want down and what chairs and what things. It's not our job. Our job is to ask the spirit world what they want to teach us. The quicker we understand as individuals when we're working for spirit what it is that they are trying to teach us, the faster your development will move. The thing I see a lot with mediums, and which I love you all, you know I do. I support each and every medium no matter what. Is the need to drive their development. They're trying to push their development in the way in which that they think it should be done, not in the way that it should be done by the spirit world. After all, we are ambassadors for them, and therefore the lead should always come from them. You can, what I would recommend with this sitting in the power is to adapt it and shift it to use, but keep the basics more or less the same. What I would change is the intention and wait for the invite. That's what I would do. That's the best way to do. Couple of intentions we could use is I want to develop clairsentience better. I'd like to develop my private sittings more. I'd like to increase my use of smells. I'd like to learn how to get better evidence. Now, when we say better evidence, think about the kinds of evidence you want. So, for example, that may be names. It may be addresses, it may be passings. It's all going to depend on what it is you're trying to learn. If you are not invited to the table, then and when you put that intention in, spirit are not interested in are not in my grammar was terrible there, forgive me. If you are not invited to the table with that intention in, then that is not what spirit are wanting you to learn right now. What intention you could use is I'm open to whatever spirit would like to teach me. What would spirit like to bring to me for me to better understand what it is that they're trying to instill in the instrument. Use them types of ones if you want. You can be quite specific like that, or you can be a bit more general and a bit more broader. It's all going to depend on each and every one of you who are doing this sitting in the power. And for me, this is one of the surefire ways to build a relationship. Also, what we're saying here to spirit is we trust you. We believe in you. Great way for holding your connection, learning to hold your connection. One of the things I find with mediums as well, most of them don't know which way the communicators are coming in. That's what the back, left, side, and front is. In order to be an excellent medium, you should be able to pick communicators up not just on different sensory systems, but also on different styles of how they're going to come in. My mechanics have evolved massively over the last 5 to 6 years. I continuously work with the spirit world with these mechanics that were given to me. And there is going to be a book at some point. I just feel like there's more to come. And so because of that, I'm sort of waiting on that one. Some of it's down, some of it still needs tweaking. So for me, my mechanics is like that for a good reason. And the reason I like that for is because that's how the spirit world wants to work. One of the things I see with some mediums is they're fearful because they don't know who they're picking up and they don't know which way they're coming. One of the quickest way to remedy fear is to find an understanding of how your mechanics work. And then how your mechanics work is how you're going to pick communicators up, which then means you can go straight there, pick your communicator up and start your communication. And I think it's one of the things that I see a lot with my students, I've got to be honest, the sheer panic of I haven't got anybody. The sheer panic of I don't know who's here. And that's enough to close the mind. So when we first make a connection to spirit, it's a full net 100%. As the fear kicks in, we shut that down, shut that down, shut that down till eventually they're working with about this much. And that's not enough for beginner medium, not even beginner mediums, for any medium who's struggling or feeling fearful or whatever. That's going to be enough to sort of panic the life out of you, I've got to be honest. So what I've learned over the years with the mechanics is to work with spirit, not against them. And I feel for a lot of years, this may help open up new avenues. A lot of you are probably searching to the front. You're not front workers, not at this time. You may be a back worker, but what's happening is because you've been taught to look to the front, then that's where you're looking, but that's not actually where the communicators are coming in. So it's important you understand how you're working. If you're working all three, great stuff, because what we're looking to accomplish with this particular technique is that we can look at the back and it be exactly the same all the way around. Because what happens is, with the mechanics of mediumship, of the ones that I use, is that they connect to the left and then they open the whole mind up. So the right side does become available, but not until we've moved the mind to the left and we've been able to get a full connection with spirit. So what we're hoping for with anything we do, it becomes like a sort of, we connect either here. We should be able to see the same things all the way around. You should really be able to twirl your head all the way around like an owl, like sort of like be able to see it all the way around, like a 360 degree. But in the spirit world, not half spirit, half psychic imagination. We want a full connection to spirit all the way around the mind, so that eventually we have full access, or spirit have full access to the whole mind. But that's for a later date, and that might be a little too sort of hopefully not too scientific for you, but hopefully you'll understand what we're trying to develop here. Remember, point keys here. Keep with the breath. Look for the way in which you connect. Do not sit at the table unless you're invited. If you're not invited, change your intention to what is it Spirit's trying to teach you. If you are invited, then they want you to learn more in them areas. Learn to put your intention in before you move completely to the spirit world. Make sure you move your eyes inside of your mind so that you find the stick. If you're sticking on the right, we've got interference here. So there's something wrong with the psychic parameter, or there's something wrong with your imagination. You need to clean that up. Well, that means that maybe somebody's pulling on your energy, whatever it may be. You got to clean this up, because remember, this is what helps to shift the mind to the awareness. If we've got something clinging here, we're dragging that with us, so check that one out. Another element here, what else other elements I can give you? Have fun. Do it with your eyes open, eyes closed. One of the techniques for this one is really being able to do it with your eyes closed and open, because if you're going to do private sittings, or you're going to do any kind of platform work, you've got to have them eyes open in order to be able to give the messages off. So if you can master it with your eyes closed, head for eyes open, and learn to be able to, they should look identical, more or less similar. So if you see this sitting in the power like that, it should be the same with your eyes open, more or less similar. Maybe a couple of changes here and there, but it should be more or less a match. So if it's not a match, then you have to understand why it's not a match. I will do some videos on that further down the line. So I hope this one helps you here anyway. Let me know how this resonates for you. Comment in the box. If I can support you, then obviously I will do. And if he's needing more tweaks, then certainly I can give that in the comments box. Share it with like-minded friends. Thank you very much to all of you for coming along and joining us. Thank you very much for just being around about the channel. We've had such an explosion of new people, so thank you for coming along. It really does touch me little heart. And thanks to watching all the videos, even the old stuff on the reruns. I am eternally grateful. I'll see you all Friday. Have fun with this, okay? Good luck. Don't be disheartened if it doesn't quite work out first time. Keep at it. It will get easier, I promise. Okay? Big kisses, big hugs from me and the spirit world. Bye for now.